a second, guys. What is going on? What is going on, my patriots? How y'all guys doing? Put this light from behind me. Welcome to another. Got things falling. All right, welcome to another edition of Joe's Dudes and Views. Give me 1 second. Welcome to another edition. So tonight we are going to be talking about a little bit touching base on two things. I couldn't put it all in the title. First thing we're going to talk about Trump calling out McConnell for being a traitor. Now, this right here made my day because everybody has been thinking that President Trump was this defeated man. Well, he's not. He's very much active in the party. He's very much aware of what's going on, and he's very much aware where we at as a nation when it comes to getting this party on the ground. Now, before I get any further with that, if it's your first time tuning in, do me a favor. Go ahead on YouTube and hit the like button. Please also do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell up top. This all helps out with the algorithm of me being able to get views, me being able to let you and identify with you guys when I am online at all times. Also, if you can do me a very huge favor, go ahead on and share the broadcast as well. And if you can, like I always ask, please participate in the $5 challenge. You'll see all of the description of where everything is at on my description box below. This not only helps me, but it helps everything that we're trying to do over here continue to flow smoothly. And that's what it's about, man. It's about trying to give you guys the truth. Because like my grandmother always say, the truth will set you free if you're willing to accept it. You know, some people are not willing to accept the truth. And because of that, it can't set them free. On my TikTok, if it's your first time tuning in, go ahead on, share. Please share the broadcast. Also, do me a very huge favor. Go ahead on and please let everybody know around you about the broadcast as well, what I bring to the table, because the more we get people involved, the better we can definitely uh, get people aware of what's really going on. Cause it's all about trying to make sure that people are aware of what's going on, and that's what we're trying to do. And I definitely love doing that, especially for uh the people at all times. So I am going to go ahead on and go into what President Trump has released in the statement because a lot of people are wondering what he's saying. And after I read the statement, I'm going to give you what I feel on my commentary of what President Trump is really saying because I think that everybody needs to know why he did this and what is the overall goal. Now, we all know that President Trump has, you know, been going through it. I mean, we have seen this man get persecuted in front of our own face for something that he didn't even do. Now, we also done seen him basically been called out unnecessarily, now going twice in impeachment, especially by Nancy Pelosi. It's like the TDS syndrome is so real that these folks cannot focus at all. And now it done got to the point now that everybody sees it. And everybody is basically getting tired of it because it's a waste of time. It's not getting the American people put first. It's like, okay, let me wake up and let me see what I can do to mess with President Donald J. Trump instead of, all right, let's see what we can do as a nation to move forward and take care of business. That's where we at. That's where we should be at. But nobody's not understanding that. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it, TYM Network. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the loyalty, brother. Yes, he is. He is the world champ. Hey, what's going on, Black Widow, over here on TikTok? Thank you. Thank you for coming in. All right, guys. So let's get into this, okay? So former President Trump, which is our to me will always be the best president we ever had, that has held it down for the world today in the US of A, released a they said a scathing statement. I'm gonna call it a real statement this afternoon targeting Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Trump, once an ally of the Kentucky Republican, rebuked McConnell using terms harsher, okay, than those of most Democrats. So this is what he's saying now. They said this is harsher than most Democrats. So this is got to be real for them to say that. He named McConnell a dull, sullen, and unsmiling political hack. Wow. Trump said that the GOP would never again be respected or strong with Hellman with McConnell at its helm. Now McConnell said that Trump bears responsibility for the January 6th Capitol Hill riot and suggests he voted not to convict Trump on an impeachment count of inciting the riot only because he is no longer president. Trump, in his statement, said that Democrats and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, which I call when Schumer and Pelosi get together, Shalosi. Shout out to my man Jericho Green that always says that. Plays McConnell like a fiddle and blames McConnell for the GOP Senate losses in Georgia for not offering big enough stimulus checks. In Mitch's Senate, over the last two election cycles, I single-handedly saved at least 12 Senate seats. Okay? Over the last two election cycles, I single-handedly saved at least 12 Senate seats, more than 8 in the 2020 cycle alone. And then I came the Georgia disaster when we should have won both the U.S. Senate seats, but McConnell matched the Democrat offer of 2,000 stimulus checks with $600. Hey guys, we already had 1,000 views over here on YouTube. Let's try to get it up. All right, let's try to get to 1,200. Trump also insisted that the Republicans lost in Georgia because they hadn't maintained election integrity. And he's right. They didn't. They didn't maintain election integrity. That's why we're messed up right now. People are laughing at us. Real talk. People are laughing at us. I mean, it's not good. Not good at all. We are not looking good at all. And it's sad, man. It really is. Give me 1 second, guys. Again, if it's your first time tuning in, go ahead on into the comment section. If it's your first time tuning in. Now, the former president, now, when he's talking about the Georgia disaster, this is when he said that the conservatives could have won, but we didn't win Georgia because nobody would not go above the $2,000 stimulus checks with $600. And he was right. They kept saying 600, 600 when they should have just went $2,000. They would have won the primary in Georgia, the second runoff, but they didn't. Trump also insisted that Republicans lost to Georgia because they hadn't maintained election integrity. Many Republicans in Georgia voted Democrat or just didn't vote because of their anguish at the inept Governor Brian Kemp, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, and the Republican Party for not doing this job on election integrity during the 2020 presidential race. Thank y'all for the love. Let's keep it up. Let's keep adding more love to it, man. I'm trying to run this thing up. I'm trying to get as much as I can. Listen, guys, there's a good chance here, and just really talking and thinking about this thing, is that when it came to this 2020 presidential race, okay, in my personal opinion, after all this went down, I think that a lot of the conservative party just didn't vote it at all on this next primary. And I think what really turned everybody off, what I agree with some of what President Trump said, and this is just my opinion, this is not fact, this is my opinion, is that when everybody found out that they were only getting $600 during this pandemic, losing their jobs in a very bad state, people just walked away. People were like, I'm not doing this time. I'm out. And a lot of people felt like that their vote wasn't going to count. I mean, I'm just telling you what I've observed, what I've heard, in my opinion, from what I've heard. This is just not an actual fact. Before anybody start trying to say or try to flag my channel. Now, the former president repeated a claim sometimes proffered by McConnell's opponents that the senator is soft on China because he has business ties in the country through his Taiwanese wife, Elaine Chao. Trump's former transportation secretary, McConnell, has no credibility on China because of his family's substantial Chinese business holdings. He does nothing on this tremendous economic and military threat, Trump wrote. Trump and McConnell found themselves at odds in the aftermath of the 2020 election. Then when McConnell urged his colleagues to vote to certify the election for President Biden, as Trump continued to assert that the election had been stolen from him. Trump promised to back primary rivals against McConnell where necessary and appropriate. McConnell eviscerated the former president on the Senate floor Saturday after voting to acquit him in the impeachment trial. He argued the Senate didn't have the constitutional authority to convict a private citizen, but left the door open for a criminal trial. McConnell said the attack was a foreseeable consequence of the growing crescendo of false statements, conspiracy theories, and reckless hyperbole, which the defeated president kept shouting into the largest megaphone on planet Earth. President Trump is liable for everything, which is false, he did while in office. McConnell continued. He didn't get away with anything yet. He have a criminal justice system in this country. We have civil litigation. He came for the president again on Monday in an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal. There's no question the former president bears, now this is crazy now, moral responsibility. Now y'all hear this? This man saying that the man bears moral responsibility. Come on now. This is what really gets under my skin. This right here. Right here. His supporters stormed the Capitol because of the unhinged falsehoods he shouted into the world's largest megaphone. His behavior during and after the chaos was also unconscionable. From attacking Vice President Mike Pence during the riot to praising the criminals after it ended, McConnell wrote. He never praised no criminals. A source close to the former president tells Fox News and other outlets on the conservative circuit that the statement sent out this afternoon was meant to be a direct response to McConnell's Wall Street Journal piece. The same source denies a report that Trump was considering making a statement about the matter on camera. Now, this is the real statement here. Now, this is where Trump is getting on this man's ass. The Republican Party can never again be respected or strong with political, in quotation mark, leaders like Senator Mitch McConnell at its helm. McConnell's dedication to business as usual, status quo policies, together with his lack of political insight, wisdom, skill, and personality, has rapidly driven him from majority leader to minority leader. And it will only get worse. The Democrats and Chuck Schumer played McConnell like a fiddle. They never had it so good, and they want to keep it that way. We know our America First agenda is a winner, not McConnell's Beltway first agenda of Biden's America's last. In 2020, I received the most votes of any sitting president in history, almost 75 million. Every incumbent House Republican won for the first time in decades. Speaking truth now. And we flipped 15 seats, almost costing Nancy Pelosi her job. Republicans won majorities in at least 59 of the 98 partisan legislative chambers. God, this joke is powerful, man. And the Democrats failed to flip a single legislative chamber from red to blue. Yep. And in Mitch's Senate over the last two election cycles, I single-handedly saved at least 12 Senate seats, more than 8 in the 2020 cycle alone. Georgia does that. We should have won both the U.S. Senate seats, but McConnell matched the Democrat offer of a 2000 stimulus. I'm back. Sorry about that. I got disconnected. I don't know what's going on tonight. Give me a second. Let me see if what is going on here. All right. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Probably because a lot of people on this stream, I think, because we're at 1,100 people on this stream. So it's a lot. So it's the most I've had in a minute. All right, let's get back into what I was saying. All right, so I'll be back here. All right, so get back to what the Republicans won majorities in at least 59 of the 98 party legislative chambers, and the Democrats failed to flip a single legislative campaign from red to blue. And in Mitch's Senate over the last two election cycles, I single-handedly saved at least 12 Senate seats, more than 8 in the 20 alone. And then came the Georgia disaster, where we should have won both U.S. Senate seats, but McConnell matched the Democrats with the $600. With $600. How does that work? It became the Democrats' principal advertisement and a big winner for them. It did. McConnell then put himself, one of the most unpopular politicians in the United States, into the advertisements. Many Republicans in Georgia voted Democrat or just didn't vote because of their anguish at their inept governor, Brian Kemp, Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and the Republican Party for not doing his job on the election. He ain't lying. Y'all share this while I get it. Share it, share it, share it. Integrity during the 2020 presidential race. It was a complete election disaster in Georgia and certain other swing states. McConnell did nothing and will never do what needs to be done in order to secure a fair and just electoral system into the future. He doesn't have what it takes, never did, and never will. Woo! My only regret is that McConnell begged for my strong support and endorsement before the great people of Kentucky in 2020 election. And I gave it to him. He went from 1 point down to 20 points up and won. How quickly he forgets. Without my endorsement, McConnell would have lost and lost badly. Now his numbers are lower than ever before. He is destroying the Republican side of the Senate, and in so doing, seriously hurting our country. Likewise, McConnell has no credibility on China because his family's substantial Chinese business holdings. He does nothing on tremendous economic and military threat. Mitch is a door sullen and unsmiling political hack. And if Republican senators are going to stay with him, they would not win again. He would never do what needs to be done or what is right for our country. Damn it. Where necessary and appropriate, I will back primary rivals who espouse making great again and our policy of America first. We will brilliantly strong. We want brilliant, strong, thoughtful, and compassionate leadership. Prior to the pandemic, we produced the greatest economy and job numbers. Yeah, he was right about job numbers. Jobs will show strong in the history of our country, and likewise our economic recovery. After COVID was the best in the world. We cut taxes. Let me see where I'm at. We cut taxes and regulations, rebuilt our military, took care of our vets, became energy independent. Through the wall and stopped the being stopped. Taxes will be going up and will no longer be energy independent. This is a big moment for the country. Yeah, you're right. This is a big moment for our country, and we cannot let it pass by using third-rate leadership to dictate our future. So basically, guys, make sure I got this. Is that the writing on the wall that's taking over is not doing anything for America. It is hurting us more than helping just us. I mean, it's facts. All we can do is call it out. What we're dealing with. I mean, of what? Oh, I'm coming back in. I want to make sure I'm trying to refresh my camera. It's just another example of what is going back in. More for voting for these connections. All right. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the weather. It's got to be. Uh, People are just blown away because of the fact of the matter of what's really going on. And the Republican, the conservative side, is shocked because of all the negativity that is going on towards President Trump. But it seems like to me, President Trump do have a plan 2024 and for 2022 and 2024. He is coming after these folks. He's not playing any games. They're going to get the whole boot of being completely screwed up and messed up in the head. So, what do y'all guys think? Do y'all think that President Donald J. Trump is overreacting? Do y'all think that uh, he has every right to call out Mitch McConnell, who has almost ruined his reputation? Tell me, drop everything in the line and tell me what y'all think, and we'll definitely get right to it. Now, there's one more I want to touch base on before we get out of here that I think you guys will love to hear about. And we're going to talk about this, what's going on in Texas with this storm. Now, y'all know that Biden signed the Keystone XL drilling situation, right? He signed for it to be closed because he wants to make it to be a green US of A. He wants to make sure that we have more wind powered mills, solar panels, no more natural resources, natural gas, none of that, hardly, right? Well, I got into it with a guy one time before about this situation recently when we was having a conversation on Telegram. He tried to tell me that we don't need the Keystone X pipeline. We don't need natural gases. That going all green is going to be amazing. Huh. Well, looks like going all green ain't amazing like everybody thought. Because right now, Texas has got a snowstorm that is the worst they've seen in a long time. And the windmills that people use to generate energy that's supposed to keep the houses warm, when the snow came down, froze them and destroyed the windmills. Oh, yeah. Did I just say that? Let me say it again. It destroyed the windmills. So now people are having a hard time getting efficient energy. And there are people in reports that people are freezing to death. What thing about that was I Patreon. Like, I can talk about those things. We can talk about it as a group and go from there. That's why I keep telling y'all to go on YouTube, Joel Davis News Media Network. Go on and click on my Patreon and start joining it. Once I get at least about 10 people start joining it, I will start doing live streams where we talk about the issues we can't talk about on here because I don't want to get banned. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta keep my little bit of damn coins in a row. So anyway, this is what's going on. Governor Abbott orders investigation into Texas energy company amid blackout freezing temperatures. All right, now listen to this. I want y'all to remember this energy company that they keep talking about that is supposed to be so efficient. This energy company is supposed to be so amazing. Give me 1 second here. Excuse me. Here we go. Far too many Texans are without power and heat for their homes as our state faces freezing temperatures and severe winter weather that is unacceptable Abbott wrote in a statement. I have issued an executive order to review the preparations and decisions by ERCOT so we can determine what caused the problem and find long-term solutions. Now, this is the statement he released, and it is all over Twitter. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas have been anything but reliable over the past 48 hours. Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. God bless you too. Far too many Texans are without power and heat for their homes as our state faces freezing temperatures and severe winter weather. This is unacceptable. I have issued an executive order adding an emergency legislative item to review the preparations and decisions by ERCOT so we can determine what caused this problem and find long-term solutions. I thank my partners in the House and Senate for acting quickly on this challenge, and I will work with them to enhance Texas electric grid and ensure that our state never experiences power outages like this again. Now, COT is facing fire for its management of the state's power grid after 4.1 million people were left without power amid a record storm in sub-zero temperatures. Man, that's a lot now. Y'all don't know about sub-zero temperatures. I do. Okay? When I lived in Chicago, sub-zero temperatures are hell. That means when you walk out before your spit hit the ground, it's ice. I mean, like, dude, you got to shovel snow especially if it's still snowing, you got to shovel snow every 2 to 3 hours just to walk out your house. And it's cold. And you got to wear layered clothing. And I'm not talking about no thin layered clothing. You got to go from thin to medium to heavy just to insulate warmth while you out there. And in some cases, you may have to wear 2 gloves. Give me 1 second. Baby, there's somebody at the door. Y'all give me 1 moment. Babe, somebody at the door. So, somebody's at the door. So, with that being said, if you never experienced that, it's not good. Now, the rare Arctic air that blasted into Texas, wait a minute. Now, some have been without power for more than 24 hours after generating stations went offline Monday. The outages also shut down water treatment plants, and hundreds and thousands were instructed to boil water before using it. Now, the rare Arctic air that blasted into Texas resulted in a record-breaking demand for power, causing the state's electric system to fail. Energy suppliers plan to use rolling blackouts to deal with the demand, but the system was overwhelmed. Expectations that the outages should be shared evenly for 10 to 15 minutes at a time by the state's 30 million residents quickly gave way to a cold reality as pockets in some of America's largest cities, including San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin, were left to shoulder the lasting brunt of a catastrophic power failure in sub-freezing conditions that the Texas grid operators have known was coming. On Monday night, ERCOT instructed utilities such as OnCar to shut off more power instead of the expected restorations. Once released a statement saying it should rotate through the outages Monday night because of poor grid conditions and warned residents to prepare for extended periods without power. At this time, ERCOT is unable to predict when grid conditions will stabilize and urges all customers to be prepared for extended outages to continue. The release continues. We need to step in and make sure that we're not going to end up with Texas in a blackout, which could keep without folks without power, not just some people without power, but people in our region without power for much longer than we believe this event is going to last. As long and as difficult as this event is right now, ERCOT CEO Bill Magnus said at least 10 deaths has been reported in light of the storm and resulting blackouts. More freezing weather is expected to hit the state Wednesday, and some areas will see more snow. State Rep. Gene Wu said that ERCOT told lawmakers it knew last week that control outages would be needed, but ERCOT did not tell the public until Sunday. Mm, 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 mm. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Until Sunday. So you mean to tell me you gonna wait until these people is in the middle of this storm going on, and then you gonna tell them Sunday? Yeah, y'all give me 1 second. Give me one moment. With the need for significant review of the blackouts, what we saw this week is a historic, unprecedented weather event. Magnus said there should be a significant review of the event. 35 warming shelters were open to accommodate more than 1,000 people around the state, FEMA said during a brief. But even they weren't spared from the outages, as Houston was forced to close 2 on Monday because of loss of power. Now, this is what Gene Wu released on Twitter, is his statement. The only regulations or blackouts about first responders and critical infrastructure. Downtown and hospitals districts are critical, I would guess. They apologize for not letting the public know that this was going to happen. They knew this was coming last week. Listen, guys, this is why we need to quit trying to rewrite the will. I'm going to tell you something that my parents has always told me, my great grandparents has told me, and my great aunts and uncles. If it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. And this is what has happened. We got people trying to fix something that's not broken. Our natural resources, us having natural oils and natural gas, natural energy, we were becoming independent where we didn't have to rely on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Rely on people. We had, options. We had backups. We had all the stuff we need. But now everybody wants to do this go green stuff, and it's not going to work. Mother Nature is becoming more and more horrendous. Thank you. Thank you for following, man. I appreciate you. Becoming more and more horrendous. So, with that being said, guys, you got to use common sense here. So, hopefully, Governor Abbott will be able to make a strong case to everybody else that this is a serious deal that we need to really evaluate. I mean, really evaluate what is going on. Okay, we need to really look at this thing really, really with another set of eyes because this is causing a lot of danger. Now, all the other news that's going on, I'll probably report most of that tomorrow, guys, because it's really not a whole lot of juicy stuff. I mean, at least y'all guys know that I am definitely All right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I've been going in. I don't know. I think I got too many on my grid tonight. I think it's not being able, my system ain't being able to handle it. I may have to switch over to Restream since I'm getting all these views. Uh the reason why it was like that because of the Arctic blast. And the Arctic blast every year it blasts all your temperature change. Like the places that usually are real warm or they normally, a regular cold become super cold. The places that normally are super cold become harshly cold, and storms come in. It brings winter storms that you've never seen before, snowstorms. Some places get tornadoes. Some places get a lot of rain. Some places get sleet and rain. It is horrible. It is nasty. That's why they call it the Arctic Cortex, man. It is real nasty. What's going on, Stella Mom? I appreciate you joining. Again, y'all go onto my YouTube. Look me up on my YouTube, Joel Davis Media Network, on my TikTok followers. Joel Davis Media Network. All right. Also, my Periscope people too. Joel Davis Media Network. I know y'all about to close down soon, and I want y'all to follow me over there. All right, guys. That's all I got for y'all tonight. I am going to be the rest of the night streaming, having a little bit of fun on my Twitch. If you come on my Twitch, you can say hello, but I do not talk about politics on the Twitch when I'm gaming, and that's about it. All I think I talk about is gaming and family stuff, and I do a little bit of question and answers about how I got into the streaming process. All right, guys, take care of yourself. Again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up top. All right. And definitely participate in the $5 challenge. Thank you very much.